Who are we? We do a lot of yapping. Who are you?
So my hometown is Clear Spring, Maryland. 2 stoplights. The town population's about 500, maybe, I think. I'd actually have to look. I don't remember what it is now. It's not much. My dad owns his own business, repairing band instruments. He's been in business for 55 years and just retired this year.
Nice.
And his retirement made front
Look at
page of
that. That's awesome.
And not only the front page, it's pretty much all of the next page. This is Sunday, March 30th of 2025, if anybody would like to read the article. But my dad repairs band instruments. He owns Mizell Music, Brass Note. I think there's like some whistle business or something that's in there too. But he's the guy that has set the bar in the band instrument repair world.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that because it's my dad, but
Yeah.
like my dad's the guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a niche. That's cool.
Yeah. So naturally, I don't like anything shiny because my whole life has been nothing but polishing stuff and shiny brass and copper and antiques and flea markets and stuff. But yeah, that's my dad. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. I have a younger sister, just shy of 2 years younger than me. We weren't rich by any means, like lower to middle class. I was always into machinery when I was little. Mom had to take me to the train yard to see the train. She had to take me through the farm sales lots to see all the implements. I used to call backhoes buttholes because I couldn't say it right. So that was fun for Mom. I mean, look, butthole, you know?
I still do that, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Dad used to come home with some cardboard boxes, and we would cut up these cardboard boxes and make all kinds of things with the little brads that you pull apart. Like we'd make backhoes out of cardboard, put the wheels on it, had the levers and stuff moving, and taught me a lot actually doing that stuff. I got a bunch of erector sets and like electrical projects, science kits, really just mechanical things, you know. I have watched every Bill Nye episode that has ever been recorded. And I don't care what age you are, if you haven't watched Bill Nye, go watch his Science Guy stuff because there are things that I have learned from Bill Nye when I was little that I still apply and think about to this day. I reference Bill Nye. Huge impact on my life that guy's. I guess I got, I don't know, a little older. We have a farm in Indian Springs that we had a 1980 XR80 dirt bike, and Dad used to throw me on the gas tank, and my right shoe would go on the exhaust pipe, and we would melt it down every weekend. We would ride all over that farm.
Yeah.
That ended up being the first thing that I got to drive on my own when I was probably around 7, 8, I would think. And it was just laps around Dad's garden in the backyard. And then I figured out how to shift, use the clutch. And from then on, it's just been hell on wheels. Let's see, I ended up blowing that thing up because it had an oil leak. And I didn't know at the time that what oil even was to check it. You know, I was just a kid on things.
Yeah,
so,
it went brap.
Yeah. I thought it was fast as could be, but it's funny. I found one on Marketplace about 6-8 years ago. It was a little different, but I was like, I'm going to go check this thing out. And I went and test drove it and was like extremely underwhelmed by it and not at all what I remembered. So I ended up not buying it. It kind of ruined that memory for me in a way, but it was cool to jump on it. But I had go-karts. I had a couple like scooters, like 49cc scooters that I would beat around in the yard. And with Dad working, like I had some limited access to tools and no knowledge.
Yeah.
But I had to figure out a lot of that stuff on my own. My dad would help me, when he was home in the evenings or whatever. Like he did fix a lot of the stuff for me. It wasn't like I was on my own, but it was most of the day. If I was home on a Saturday and something happened, I had to figure it out. And
Yeah.
I learned a lot of that stuff, uh, figuring out on my own. Elementary school, I was kind of like the dorky, nerdy kid, hated homework. My parents divorced when I was in fourth grade. A few years later, my mom remarried. So this puts me like middle school age, 12 to 14. And that guy introduced me to NASCAR and Nitro RC cars. We ended up moving in with his dad right across the street from Hagerstown Speedway, which is
Nice.
Gateway Avenue. And
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
right across the street. All right. Like the lights on Saturday used to light up the house. Like we had dirt dust on our
Yeah.
cars on Sunday morning.
Dude, this is so funny. I sorry to interrupt. I grew up next to Challenger Speedway, which is a dirt
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
So funny.
Like the little bit of you and I talking, this is going to be the exact same story you're going to tell. All right. Like we parallel wildly.
Yeah.
All right. But Gateway Avenue was the name of that road. And at one end of it was a kid I went to school with who I ended up becoming really, really good friends with, him and his brother. We rode the bus home one day. He's like, I've got this Ford truck I'm going to work on later on the night. If you want to ride your bike down, and like, it's probably the length of your driveway away. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'll come down. And come to find out, it was pretty sure it was his dad's old truck who had passed away recently from cancer. I never got to meet his dad, unfortunately. But it was kind of like freedom for a kid. We didn't have really any adult supervision, and we had motors. And I had friends that were into stuff that we kind of had the same experience level of mechanics and what we were into. So we had lawnmowers that would do wheelies, go-karts, dirt bikes. We had a scooter squad at one point in time that was riding around all over the place. Dustin ended up with a Fox Body Mustang that we did a bunch of work to. And then we get a little older, and Jason ended up with a 79 Ford Dent Side with a hot 460 in it on 35-inch groundhogs. And that was really my first introduction to off-roading and performance, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
We were hitting all the illegal mud holes, and like when the creek would flood, there was roads that would flood out, and we'd drive down them. We floated that truck a couple times. I don't know how we got out. Very, very deep, stupid water crossings. But yeah, I'm in the middle school now. So like I was the gifted underachiever that annoyed the shit out of teachers because everything just kind of, it came natural to me, but my grades sucked because, hey, guess what? I'm not doing homework, and that takes up a large portion of your grade. So I ended up being thrown in, like, I don't want to say special ed classes because I wasn't. It was like I didn't go to recess, so I went down and sat with the special ed kids to do homework.
Your work that you didn't do otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why I never told my parents about that, but come to find out, they didn't know that was happening to me at school either. So, but you know what it was? I was bored in school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They didn't get me engaged, and what needed to happen is I needed to be moved up a grade and challenged, and I would have applied myself, but because at that point in time, like because of the way the school system was, it was just throw them in special ed stuff. Like that was when they were giving kids Ritalin and like,
yeah, right.
Whatever. They didn't know what to do with kids that were bored. You know? But I sucked at English, biology, social studies, and I was a science and math whiz. Like it's kind of what I was doing all the time. I was figuring out science and did some math, physics. Like
in the real world.
I was in the real world. I knew how to manipulate the real world. High school comes, and we had to figure out they called them completers, where you had to like pick a path of which way you wanted to go. So I went into a agricultural completer because of the power mechanics program. And that was like my first time having a shop with all the tools that I had access to. Um, High school, I got recruited to run track cross country, and I ended up meeting Corey Clopine, and I've become friends with the family to the point of I consider them family now. And his dad, we were talking about mentors and how important that is in learning all of this stuff. I call him Pops. That was by his choice. Um, but he is a extremely good body guy that's been around for a long time, knows a lot of stuff into dirt track
Yeah.
racing. And I have screwed up a bunch of shit. And he bailed me out of a lot of things. Now I caught hell for it. He's a grumpy old man, you know. And man, I owe him a lot, to be honest with you. Like he really took me under his wing, and he gave me hell, but he taught me shit too.
Yeah.
But I turned 16 and I ended up with the 68 Rambler. That was a go-kart for me. It was basically a 6-cylinder Briggs and Stratton that I had been messing with go-karts and stuff. It was carbureted, it was manual trans, it was perfect for me. No sway bars, which is going to be a common trend with all my vehicles going forward. So the thing was all that's why I'm so used to something leaning. Apparently all my vehicles are like scary when they lean over.
Yeah.
But the flamethrower exhaust on that was the coolest thing I think I ever did. That was the death of the car, ultimately. We have a technical high school in the county that you go to junior, senior year. So sophomore year, we went and toured it, and I decided to go there and go through the automotive repair program with the intentions of like, I kind of mess around with this stuff. It would be cool to know a few things and have some tricks. And at least when I go into the dealer with my car and they say you need brakes, I can be like, I can do my own brakes,
Yeah. Right.
or,
Right.
I'm at least a little bit educated about what they're talking about. Little did I know at that point in time, I would never step foot in a shop as a customer. I've never done it.
Yeah. Right.
I have fixed my own shit, everything the whole way through. I ended up being selected my sophomore year as a AS student, which was like Automotive Youth at Excellence. What the program was is they took first year tech school students and gave them a Snap-on toolbox, small one,
Yeah.
and some tools, basic toolkit. It was like $3,000 we had to pay. And a dealership picked you up and they put you under the master tech. And that
That's
was
pretty
your senior
badass.
year. Yeah, we worked through the summer,
Jeez.
senior year.
That's a
So
great program.
yeah, it really truly was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Like when my name got called for that, I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And
Yeah.
at this point, I'm along for the ride. I get placed out there, whatever. I'm going through senior year, and there's a SkillsUSA competition amongst all the trade schools in Maryland. And they take 2 students from every um, specific course that the school offered, and you went and competed against all the other students in the state. And I I was chosen to do it, me and another guy, and we did 2 competitions. I ended up finishing second in both competitions, which earned me basically a half ride to Universal Technical Institute, the
Yeah.
scholarships.
Hell yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Talk about earning your way in, man. That's nuts.
yeah. So I actually had no intentions of using it at this point in time. Like it was just a fun thing for me to do. Like, yeah, I went and competed. I got second. Like that was going to be the end of it for me.
Yeah.
I'm working out at Kia. So that guy that I worked under, Jeff Youngblood, is his name. Very, very intelligent guy. And I learned so much from that guy. I owe him so much. He lives down in Ocean City now. And I still talk to him. We've sort of kept in touch, but I need to go see the guy. I'm overdue, but still really respect the guy. And stuff I learned from him, again, another mentor, I use daily. In fact, this ratchet is one of the few Snap-on tools I have. I use this daily. This was the first tool I bought off the Snap-on truck. It's been rebuilt 3 times.
That's cool. That's sweet.
I bought that because that's what he used all the time. Yeah, I mean, I worked there, graduated. The summer was going past, and everybody was like, "So when are you going to school? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to school. I'm in a dealership, man, working under the master tech. Like the guy that's working beside us is a nutcase. Like they're gonna get rid of him real soon, and that's gonna be my lift. You know, like I'm gonna be in a dealership at 17 years old, wrenching on flat rate, making time.
Yeah, adult money.
Adult money. Yeah, like I had $5,000 in the bank when I graduated high school of my own money. Like I was doing really, really good for myself. And everybody in my family lost their mind for the most part that I was not going to use all these scholarships. And there was a lot of pressure on me to use. So Dad and I decided we were just going to go up and look at a UTI campus. We went to the one in PA. I don't remember the town. Decided, what the hell, man? Like, sure, I'll do it. You know, what do I have to lose at this point?
Yeah, real quick, before you get into that, before I get a UTI, I'm going to take a piss. I'll be right back.
I skipped over an important part here.
Okay.
So, okay. So the SkillsUSA thing, that competition was the beginning of how I met my wife.
Oh, very important part.
Yeah. So we do the competition, and because of me running track in high school, I didn't need to be on the back of the bus. So I sat in the front of the bus because it was a long drive.
Yeah.
I was right behind the teachers, and behind me sat 3 girls. And we're shooting the shit the whole way home, whatever. And I go into school like 2 weeks later. I didn't think anything about it, to be honest. And I go into the lunchroom, and I get punched in the shoulder out of nowhere. And it's this girl, and she goes, "What, you're too good to talk to me now?" And I'm like, I didn't know who the hell she was at first. You know, you had to remind me. And her and I ended up talking a little bit, and then we dated for, it wasn't even a whole year. And that's actually my wife's cousin. So Laurie was this girl's name. Her and I split up. I had met Amanda, which is my wife, through her.
You're going to shit when I tell my story because, again, we have a parallel here, but go ahead.
Wow. Yeah, her and I split up right before I go to North Carolina to do my scholarship stuff. I mean, to make the long story short, sleeping upstairs. I got 2 kids. We've been together ever since.
Ever
long
since.
history with that. But yeah, the SkillsUSA thing really, really put my life on a particular path.
That's cool.
So anyway, I go down to where I decide to do the UTI thing. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the NASCAR program. NASCAR was involved with UTI in Mooresville, North Carolina. They had a full NASCAR program. So I was like, screw it, I'm in NASCAR. This is 2006. I left November 1st of 2006, went down to North Carolina. School started right after Thanksgiving, I think. I think I went down there and got set up for a couple weeks and just kind of hung out. I was on we got a trailer on a farm. It was a horse farm that did a petting zoo.
That's
all
cool.
right. and there was a goat.
Hell yeah.
All right. And I used to wrestle this goat in the field beside the house. It was just this whole petting zoo with donkeys, all kinds of shit, whatever. Student of the course for the first class, which was just basic engines. Really, I don't want to say it wasn't worth it for me or that the school wasn't worth doing. But at this point in time, I had gotten 2 years of a tech school. I'd been in a dealership for 2 years, plus all of my own, like, figuring out mechanics. I was ahead of a lot of people, you know? So I don't know that I got everything out of it that somebody that doesn't know anything would have gotten, you know?
Yeah.
It was a good starting point. I definitely learned stuff for sure. Like it was worth me going through. I ended up graduating with a 3.98 GPA.
Yeah. Nice.
Went through the NASCAR program. Got involved with the asphalt late model deal.
Yeah.
Was part of summer shootouts with legend cars and bandoleros. Did some super late model stuff, some trucks, ARCA stuff. Didn't really get into Bush, is what it was then, or Cup.
Yeah.
I was around some Cup guys. Actually, one of my classmates used to be the jack man, but he is now the gas man for Kyle Larson.
No shit.
Yeah. He was the jack man for Jimmy Johnson for a while.
Yeah, dude, he must just smell like champagne, like constantly.
Yeah. Really cool guy, Brandon Harder.
Yeah, that's
his
awesome.
name. So yeah, he works at Hendrick. And yeah, I mean, NASCAR Tech was really cool. I also met this guy, John Shoemaker, the most random name common name you could possibly ever have. All right. And I swear, like looking back on it, I'm pretty sure this guy was witness protection or something, like to have that generic of a name.
Yeah, John Smith.
Yeah. But him and I were kind of on the same wavelength with stuff. And one of the first things the teacher asked us was, he challenged us. He's like, hey, if you guys can come up with a way to eliminate the poppet valve and cylinder heads, you'll be millionaires. And like within 20 seconds, this guy and I looked at each other and we're like rotating ball valves that are offset at 45 degrees. And like, we blueprinted all this stuff out. His dad was a lawyer. We were going to patent this shit. Like we spent some time developing it.
Yeah.
And then, we took it in and showed the teacher. And he was like, oh, wow. And like, this is really cool. And it didn't go anywhere for a while. And, I don't know if this is a direct result of what we did or not, but there's now a company in North Carolina that is prototyping this and developing it at this level.
Yeah.
But I ended up losing contact with him. So I'm a college student, I'm going to school. I got to make some money. I ended up picking up work through the week at a hobby shop that did RC cars. So this goes back to my stepdad getting me into RC cars. I still have it. My very first one. This thing
Rustler.
A whole nitro Rustler, man. If you want to learn shit about cars, get yourself a nitro RC car, man. You keep one of these things running.
That's so funny. Mine was hold on, I'll grab it. It's right here. The chassis is in the garage, but
you got the original body. That's the same one I had.
Yeah.
That's the electric one, though.
Yeah, this one is the old NiCad, but the body is still in pretty darn good shape. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna make a modern Rustler and run this just as like a
that had the old Stinger 20-turn motor in
it did. Yes, it did. Yeah,
and the knobby tires that wore off the first time they touched pavement
instantly.
Instant.
I had a sweet like fluorescent purple motor cooler on the back of it, but the problem was you'd back into stuff and then it would smash into the motor and it would fuck up the motor plate. And
Yes.
yep.
Yeah,
yeah, dude, I was probably
man.
Oh my goodness. 5 years old. I mean, this is like 2000.
Yeah. Yeah. We're 2000. Yep. I got into RC stuff right before Earnhardt died, and that was February 18th of 2001.
2001. Yep. Yep. I remember where I was, like 9/11, dude. That's my cousin's birthday. I was at his birthday in Homer City watching the race. Some yuppies out there that are like completely lost right now. Like, are these guys really mourning the loss of Dale Sr. 24 years later? Right, I am, actually. Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah. So I wasn't I wasn't a big NASCAR fan at that point. I was actually a Jeremy Mayfield fan.
Okay, hell yeah. Okay. 19, right? Red Dodge car.
Before that, Penske in the 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
I was the first win that I was a fan of was when he got into the bumper of Earnhardt at Pocono in 3 and pushed him out of the way and won in 2000.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, oh yeah, the guy I'm rooting for won. Like, that was really cool. I can remember where I was there too. The hobby shop. Yeah, I was talking about the hobby shop with RC cars. So I'm working there. I end up meeting Humpy Wheeler, sold him an RC plane. So that was really cool. Another mentor that I learned a hell of a lot from was Randy Stewart. Randy wasn't one to really want a lot of help from anybody. Like, he wanted to pick his own shit, kind of like you and I probably are. Jim, the owner, was getting me into RC planes at that point in time. So we go out to the flying field, and I've got my little trainer plane. Randy's out there with his crew, and I was natural flying an RC plane. So Randy ended up coming over to me a little later, and he's like, oh, okay, well, it seems like you've been, you're doing pretty good. He's like, well, you know what you're doing. Why don't you come over to the house later? Come find out. You live like a mile from me. So I go over to his house, and his buddies had his radio all screwed up and stuff, but he's got a huge wood shop in his garage, and really nice house. I didn't find out till later he was actually a fabricator for Hendrick Motorsports, and he had been around in racing. He was involved with Sox and Martin, but he was involved with like the Jeff Gordon T-Rex car.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like this guy was deep into motorsports history. But I ended up going over there, and like, he gave me a place to build RC planes. I used to go over after work. We hung out. He was very influential into teaching me about linkages and geometry of how suspensions work and loading of stuff. I ended up flying a bunch of his planes. Blew the wings off one, about killed a goat at his neighbor's field. I miss that guy terribly.
Yeah.
Really, really cool dude. This guy's got cancer, like.
Yeah, right.
He can do whatever the hell he wants, Right. He pulls this salad bowl out from under his workbench. I'm telling you, salad bowl, okay? And it is mounded over. I've never seen so much weed in my life.
He's probably flying his RC planes down to Mexico.
But that guy really taught me a lot, and I wish I could talk to him and tell him all kinds of shit, you know? But anyway, I'm down there, North Carolina. It's now 2008. What's happened with NASCAR at this point? The COT car is there. So it used to be, you had a guy that specifically built a certain brand or certain car, they only built a car for Talladega. They only had to build 3 a year. 2 primaries and a backup. He'd sit there with his coffee cup and look at stuff, massage shit, whatever. Yeah. There was 35
when
cars.
When Gen 4 left, it destroyed the sport.
Yes. Here I am as a college kid trying to work my way up, and all these teams laid off guys with fistfuls of championship rings that have done this their entire lives. They don't know anything else but racing. So if you're on a lower division, do you hire the college kid with no experience, or do you hire the guy that's got 2 fistfuls of championship rings?
Right. That just left Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I I realized that I wasn't going to make it
Yeah.
down there, and I packed up, ironically, November 1st of 2009 and came home because of the economy and NASCAR and stuff. Um, I ended up working for my dad for a while at the music shop,
Mm-hmm.
and you just can't work for family like that.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. I got hooked up with a independent auto shop with a bunch of old guys that were into old hot rods. Like they had a motor shop in the back. It was nothing to be working on the classic cars, but we did everything,
Yeah.
and it really challenged me. And to be honest with you, I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't know what I thought I knew. Um, and I struggled. So I ended up, we ended up mutually agreeing that I should probably move on and go do something else.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to Jameson Door, which is a very well established, like, refrigeration door, overhead door. You have walked through a Jameson door.
Right. Right.
Okay. And I came in there as a temp because I walked out of dad's and I needed work. So I went straight to a temp agency and was like, just get me someplace. And that's where they put me. And they ended up hiring me on and then laying me off on an 89th day.
Mm.
So yeah, that sucked. But I learned some shit there.
Yeah.
I ended up refurbishing vending machines, fountain machines, slushy machines for just shy of 5 years. I was I left there feeling like I was the top, like, final prep assembly guy. Like, I was firing up machines, going through stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there were guys that couldn't figure out how to do lights, and they'd roll it into my bay, and 20 minutes later the lights were lit up and it was getting rolled out.
Yeah.
Like, I was one of the go-to guys. And because of that, every time I put in to move up in the world, they couldn't afford to lose me in that position. So I was trapped. I went to compressed air services and I knew nothing about rotary screw compressors or what I was getting into, how pneumatics work. And I was the only service tech that I found out. Didn't know that when I got hired. Some of my electrical knowledge with industrial stuff was just from Pepsi, you know? So I got lucky that I didn't get my arms blown off with like 460 or, you know, uh,
Yeah.
like I learned shit the hard way, but I figured it out. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, we were talking about the Facebook groups and like meeting different people and the friendships that you make and stuff. Um, I have developed a friendship with somebody who shall remain nameless here,
Yeah.
that we got talking back and forth, and they started putting together connections with ADHD stuff. And they were like, I think I have ADHD. And like, look at this. I'm this way and send me this, like, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hmm, I'm relating to this quite a bit too. And then I started thinking back on things, and, the gifted underachiever status in middle school starting to make sense,
Right. Right.
and then all of a sudden stuff with autism starts popping up. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on. No, no, no. And, I've never sat down and like really tried to get a proper diagnosis on it, but
Yeah.
like too much stuff lines up. And I look back on my wrenching career and it's like, oh, this explains why this happened, or this explains why that happened, or
Yeah.
why I've been so involved in things like I have. So it's been a very big part of my life in like the last 5 years, and I've got to owe it to like the overlanding, meeting people through the
Yeah.
Facebook groups. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's I've accepted it. I haven't gotten treated for ADHD or anything. I'm not on any medication. I'm just raw dogging it, caffeine and hate.
So, right. General disgust for most individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, now we're here.
So
I don't have as much I feel like you have such a vast array of work and important people. But I'm I don't want to say I'm a little more boring, but maybe a little bit. So I'm from Western Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, in a little place called Greensburg. But I didn't grow up there. So my parents they met at Edinburgh University, got married, and then about a year and a half later, along came Nick. So they lived with my grandparents up in like the Erie area. And then my dad got a job as a campus police officer at IUP. At the time, my mom was basically part-time, taking care of me, not working part-time, taking care of me kind of deal. Dad always worked as a cop, retired as a cop. The place that we moved to was a little podunk place called McIntyre. McIntyre is like a forgotten coal community. It's not that nice. We weren't that well off. I mean, we weren't like, stealing food kind of deal, but we weren't that well off. Put it this way, when I was in probably like first grade, maybe kindergarten, I got hit by a drunk driver at the bus stop. I was all right. It was more of a bump. It wasn't that extreme, but like that was kind of the place, right? So there were no kids anywhere near me. So from the time that I was really, born until about 9 years old, it was just me and the woods and the dog and my dad. And I had a sister who's 4 years younger than me, half a sister who's 4 years younger than me. But in not having a lot of things and not a lot of resources, basically it was always figured out. And, Dad, he had it was a late 80s F-150. When he got it, I know it was probably worked, and he worked to make it kind of nice, but rust was starting to get to it. And one of my very first memories of working on a vehicle, we were outside, and I think my sister was in like a pack and play outside. And this thing had a 6-foot bed, and he was cutting down and patching an 8-foot bed to go on to his 6-foot bed F-150.
It's not easy to do.
No. And I actually remember hopping out of the bed and cutting my hand from like here to here on sheet metal and just like bleeding out. It was just a really early life lesson of seeing. It was just time and time again, like things like that. It was like Dad went to work and then Dad busted his balls to fix shit because no one else was coming. And that was really my whole mantra really growing up, was like, you are genuinely on your own. And I know now is at this point in my life, like that's not actually true. Most of the time there's options, but I grew up under the preconceived notion that like if you don't figure it out on your own, you're fucked.
Yeah, same. I had help, but not I didn't utilize it as much as I should have.
Yeah, there's a saying, and I'll have to use my dolphin noises here, but my dad, anytime that something was just fucked up, he would just look at me and go, well, son, you can only fuck with the dick you got. and to this day, I'm like, yeah, man, that's true. And I think I attribute that point of my life and that era of seeing all of that stuff where it was just like, I know it's not the right way to do it, but it's the way you got to do it to make it work, because if you don't make it work, you don't have it. And if you don't have it, you're going to suffer. And at this point, since I grew up in that and seeing that, when something goes wrong now, there's no panic in me.
Yeah.
Because I know now, like, I have a little bit more resources. And if I could have figured it out with nothing, I can figure it out with something, Yeah, there wasn't a lot. It was a lot of, either solo playing or playing with, my mom or dad, or when my sister got a little bit older. But one of my most favorite memories, we lived right next to Challenger Speedway, which was a dirt track. I think it might have been a quarter-mile dirt track, and it also had a motocross track as part of Challenger Speedway. So we'd go there, see the races all the time, and that was maybe a mile from the house, maybe not even a mile. So basically, every Monday was like wash the house day, get all the dust off the house. We had lived next to, I mean, quite literally, because it was all mined at some point and then reclaimed, and they built these shitty stick and company houses on them. We lived next to this polluted old slate dump, and I remember Dad, he needed I actually don't really know why he bought it, because I don't know if it had a belly mower on it or not, but it was an old Ford lawn tractor with these tall-ass ag tires on it. Probably had a bajillion miles on it, but it had this meaty-ass aggressive ag tires on it. And we used to load up on that thing and for hours off-road a freaking tractor at the slate dump. And I mean, that was just like, I vividly remember so many trips doing that, and it was so fun. And I can remember a couple times whenever his truck was like running properly, we would take the truck out to the slate dumps too, and still and ride them out there, and that was fun. But it was interesting because I got to live kind of two lives, two childhoods. So when I want to say second grade, my mom had gone back to school, and she went to school for health and safety. And in that time, she started working steady because we were a little bit older. Sister wasn't a baby anymore. Now had a little bit more money, not by any means well off, but had some money. And then got to the point where we could move. So we moved out of McIntyre and we moved to the town of Indiana, Pennsylvania. So when we moved there, it lined up. My dad was getting a promotion. Mom was starting at UPS. She was actually at UPS through a temp agency, but then they hired her on full time. She was working. So now it was like, God damn, I got a PlayStation, and shit like that. So that was really cool. And then it really snowballed from there in a positive way. My mom, she graduated with a safety, health, environmental science degree at IUP. Started working health and safety at UPS, and then from there it was all upward. So just an unbelievable amount of work on her part to do all that. And now she's, does some crazy things with some companies that deal with health, safety, technology. It's pretty cool. So seeing all that was really neat. But high school, honestly, I was the jock sports kid. Before that, skater, BMX. One of the greatest things about having nothing but having a bicycle was I got excellent on a bike. So moving into what I called into the town of Indiana, neighborhood kids, bikes. Now I could skate and bike with people, and that was fun. Ended up being pretty decent at football. I mean, I don't think I was a Division I athlete, probably not. Absolutely could have played in college. However, very similar to your story. So I was chasing girls a lot, but I was dating this girl for a while, like young, like fling.
Yeah.
Gosh, I was 14, 15, but that girl's cousin brought one of her good friends to a track meet, and that track meet happened to be going on at the same time that one of my lacrosse practices was going on. So turmoil in my young fling relationship, right? I end up dumping this chick, and like very shortly after that, I get this message from this girl who I have no idea who she is, that looked like way hotter than what I'm qualified for.
This is identical.
I'm like, oh, okay, So at the time I had just turned 16. And shortly before turning 16, I had a 2003 Dodge Dakota 3.6. I think that's what the six banger was. 2-wheel drive. It was maroon. Love that thing, Well, I was running that, out to see her. She lived in Greensburg, out by like Seton Hill College. So I was driving from Indiana to Greensburg, and that thing sucked on gas. It sucked on everything. I cut the exhaust off of it. We've talked about it. I basically just ruined what would otherwise have been like a really nice truck.
Yeah.
And real quick story on that. One of the very first times that she ever came over to my place, which was my parents' house, at the time, I just got my actual driver's license, and we were going to go driving dirt roads and have a picnic. Well, 10 minutes into that, one of my good friends barrel rolled his truck on a dirt road. She somehow stuck with me. So she knew what she was getting into. She knew what she was getting into.
So before you go farther,
yeah,
my first date with Amanda was I took her hill hopping in my blue square body. And then we went and saw Jackass in the movies. I took her to that to see if she would survive. I figured if she got through Jackass, then we were probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I had going for me was, she grew up in a very different way than I did. My father-in-law is a brilliant man. He's an engineer. Mother-in-law is a school teacher. So through, the late early stages of his career, he started to really make fantastic money, beautiful home. There wasn't struggle in my wife's childhood, just different upbringing,
Yeah.
But it played into my favor because I think it was at least interesting enough that she hung around. It was all new. So, fast forward into later in high school, truthfully, I probably could have pursued the sports thing. I quit giving a shit. I was just smitten for her, and that was it. As soon as I went to school, because my dad was considered an employee at the university, I was fortunate enough that to go to IUP, my tuition was covered. So I was only on the hook for like activity fees and books, which I only bought books once. After that, books are completely useless. If you're listening to this and you haven't gone to school yet, don't buy your books. If you have to buy the book, just steal the book. Don't give that university any more money for that book that your professor probably wrote. Anyway, so this is like kind of one of my life, I don't want to call it regrets, but like not something that I'm 100% sure on even now. So seeing my mom's crazy success with safety and health, and me in my head being really into sports and health, I was like, well, I'm going to go to school for safety. That's what she did. She went to IUP. It's awesome. So I went through, and there's a lot of health, not a lot of safety, which was cool. I love biology. I'm into that stuff. It's cool. I like health. Wasn't a ton of safety in it. And it's getting towards the end of my college career. Now, my wife was going to Duquesne for nursing, so I'm traveling from IUP to Duquesne because she didn't have a car, and I'm also working basically full-time, like 32 hours a week at UPS as a manager at night. So, like, I'm not sleeping. I'm definitely not doing college homework. Like, truthfully, college was not hard at all, but I don't want to say I didn't apply myself, but I didn't really apply myself that much because I felt that it was a lot of common sense shit, with the exception of some of the physics and some of the biology. It was really simple stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I end up pulling off a half-decent GPA. It's about time to graduate, but I need an internship, and I find this company, and I go to meet them, and they're like, look, I'll be honest with you, we like you. You seem smart and like you fit in. We don't really do the internship thing, but we need workers now. So whatever paperwork we need to flub, we'll flub, but can you just go to work for us? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, dude, I'll take a job. Well, this is right around like the first gas and oil boom after the Obama era, right? So what is this, like 2015, 16-ish, So I get shipped out to a Marathon. At the time, it was Mark West facility. And I'm just shadowing somebody. And long story short, I get called into this meeting just as like a fly on the wall. I looked like a total nerd. I'm wearing this brand new bright red jacket, shiny hard hat, new boots. One of the project managers in the meeting smells me from a mile away, and I think he was trying to be an asshole or just see if I knew anything. And he asked me this question about this crane pick that was like a difficult critical lift. And I don't remember what I said, but I think it made a lot of sense. And it was like, oh, okay. I leave the meeting and I get a phone call from my boss of the company that hired me. And he's like, Nick, what happened in this meeting? He goes, well, no, I just got a call from one of the construction managers. They want you to go be the safety coordinator down in West Virginia for Majorsville 1 and 2, which was like a massive project direct for Mark West. I'm 21. I don't know what any of this shit is. And I just said, yeah, I'll do it. And for about 2.5 years, I worked 7 days a week, 12 plus hours a day. Somehow my wife, girlfriend at the time, stayed with me. And I didn't do anything but work. that was it. I worked. I graduated and then worked. There was no law. I was in the field and I was working. It sucked a lot, but I made a lot of money in that time. And when I kind of put my time in, it started getting a lot cushier and cushier and cushier and a lot easier roles, and got a lot more seniority as time passed. And that is kind of the crossover of where like the overlanding thing came into place, because now I have time. Now I don't work on weekends. Holy shit, I can do stuff. So all that stuff that I used to like to do, now I can do it more and more. Got married, still doing a ton of overlanding. We went to Colorado around this time. We went to Vermont. That was another big one that was cool. Started a family. Already told that story, but daughter was product of Camo. Now got a great wife and 4 kids at the house, which is why I picked up the Yukon. But now, as far as work goes, it's a lot of management side of things, a lot of oversight, a lot less of the I need to be there at 4:30 in the morning and leave at 5:30 in the afternoon kind of thing, which is nice. So, now we're here. So, yeah, I guess I don't have a lot of the real cool people interactions that you had. So I thought that was really interesting. And I don't have a lot of those. But yeah, that's me. But it was. I think I like to think that if the first pretty much decade of my life was different, I would be doing not this, and I think that would be really sad. Looking back, like the Dukes of Hazzard and the movie Tremors, the original with Kevin Bacon, basically shaped my entire personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that rig from Tremors and basically everything the Duke boys did, I was like, I could be that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But well, I think we could probably roll into Q&A. I have some pretty good ones here from some new folks. I'm gonna hit those.
Your lack of pinstripes don't lie, and neither do we. Where your feelings need skid plates, this is the Camo Convoy. Q&A.
First one here is actually from Nick Palco, and I like this question a lot. Why is the off-road scene so hard to find in Pennsylvania? And this is a question I've been trying to solve for a long time. From what I can tell, there is a massive disconnect in the majority of the state forests, how they're managed in regards to how people want to explore them. Now, Pennsylvania has an official committee, the Pennsylvania Trail Committee, and that committee is broken up into everything from equestrian to hiking to snowmobiles to cross-country skiing to OHV travel, etc. Right? Everyone has their own representative. Now, I don't know any of these people. This is actually reasonably new information to me that I'm trying to get involved in. But from what I can tell, the OHV representative is a Jeep Club person. I don't think that demographic represents the Overland community. That might
would agree with that.
That might be like a really inflammatory comment. I'm gonna again double down. I don't know this person. I may be completely wrong, but speaking of stereotypes, and from what I can see, I just think that group is more concerned with permitting, going to a single spot and staying, or going to designated trails. I don't see that group, specifically Jeep groups, doing any sort of distance overland travel. And I think because of this, we have weak representation in the OHV travel space. And what we see are gates everywhere. Land is really expensive here, so even if it's not gated and it's private, no one has enough land to actually make an off-road park. I think that things are continually being zoned as industrial, so you can't even buy up land that exists and turn it into what you want to buy it. Bottom line, our state's just mismanaged. We have some of the most beautiful state forests in the country, and they're not that great to explore. I mean, we have Bald Eagle. That's really cool. I love going there. Allegheny National Forest has some nice things, but there are lots of gates up there as well. Marionville is all four-wheelers. You can't get in there with any sort of four-wheel drives. Michaud State Forest is the worst. I think that's, of all of the forests and forested areas in the United States that I've been to, that's the worst and most mismanaged forest that I've ever seen. It is basically two roads with gates on either side of the road the entire way through.
To live right by that, and as vast as what that is and as pretty as what that is, there is nothing there.
Can't see it.
Gravel roads. You can't get to anything. Lots of gates. Well, you know, it's really geared towards hunting.
Yes.
And the gates are only open during hunting season, and you better be up in there to hunt.
Yeah, 100%. And the design of those roads are all in and out. Nothing connects.
Yes.
You know, the mountain biking could be improved upon so much, but because a lot of people go there to mountain bike, you could make it so much better by interconnecting those roads. Gettysburg is right there. So if I was Gettysburg and I'm a county planner or regional planner, whatever, for Gettysburg, I'm coming to these people and saying, hey, there's a massive demographic. These people just generated $92 million through Backroads of Appalachia, through their different events for economic impact. They all want to come here, but there's nowhere to stay. There's nowhere to camp. You got to go and pay at a campground, which, yeah, that's fine, but that's not what we're really looking to do. And I sound pissed off about it, but it really bums me out because, like, if I want to go and take the boys overlanding, right, I don't have that many options in my own state. So it does suck. And that's why we spend most of our time elsewhere.
So to continue that, if you head south and cross into Maryland and into like Catoctin Mountain, Cunningham Falls area, that's basically the same forest.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just as hard to find anything in that area that's accessible. Now, part of that is, what is it, Camp David?
That
area. And on the PA side, you have Raven Rock. Like, I see Blackhawks. Yeah. I see Blackhawks flying all the time. I have seen
you're talking about the bay. Yep.
Underground. Yeah. Right outside, or right on the other side of Blue Ridge Summit, there's the underground military complex or whatever. there's so many rumors of what's under there, and it's all speculation. I don't know. I mean, I heard there's a tunnel all the way down to the White House. Who knows what's under
I've
there?
I've heard a ton of different things. The nuclear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I should be sharing where any of this stuff really is. You know, I can think of at least 2 different underground areas beside Raven Rock.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's the one has AT&T signage all over it, but AT&T doesn't have Hummers and guys in camo with assault weapons.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people don't realize that Pennsylvania was actually reasonably integral during the Cold War for a lot of R&D things. So,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say the spot just because I'm not gonna say the spot exactly, but basically, in the northwestern portion of the state, there is a nuclear jet engine testing facility. You can get to it. You got to hike to it. You can't drive all the way to it, but you can get to it. And there's a lot of history there. We did a lot of interesting things in the state, so who knows what the hell's on. But as far as places to go, you really have to go down to like Wolf Den to get somewhere.
Yeah, I would love for what you say, Michaud is how it's pronounced.
I think I've heard Macaw, Michaud.
Shinks, Michaud. I've heard so much of it.
It sounds French, which is probably why it sucks, actually.
I thought it was Native American.
It is.
Oh, okay. You know, I was really excited moving up here and finding that place. I was like, man, this is beautiful up here. Like, there's going to be campsites everywhere. And I have been all through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have anything, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. But I guess the best thing that we can do is get active in the committees or talk to these people that are in the committees. You know, I don't want to shit talk them. I've never spoke to them. You know, that's probably wrong of me. But just from myself being disgruntled and seeing the way things are, I don't understand how it can't be any other way. All right, so here's this question is like right for us. We say it all the time. This is from Jonathan Kipp from the Camo group. What advice would we give to a newbie? Air down. Air down.
Yep.
No, I'll keep mine short and simple. Just go. Don't even listen to me. Don't listen to Instagram. Don't listen to YouTube. Don't listen to Facebook. Get in your truck. Pack the essentials. Don't go like hardcore wheeling your first time out, but just go drive dirt roads and then go someplace you know that you can camp and just start doing that. Forget all of the pretentious bullshit that you've heard from people that are, oh, well, you have to have this, this, and this, or, oh, you know, you're just stop. You don't. You're going to find out what you want and what you need. I'm even going to go as far as saying go out by yourself. Now, obviously, follow the correct channels of communication. Make sure someone knows where you're at. If you're going by yourself, don't go like bogging the thing in 4-low, crawling around. But there's no law that says you can't go drive around state forest roads or national forest roads and go camp in the woods by yourself. You're going to have a great time. Don't just go mod your truck because people say go mod your truck. Yes, it's fun. If you get mad because I'm telling you, oh, don't tell me what to do with my money, then don't listen. Go swipe off. Go do something else. I'm just saying, if someone's telling you you have to spend money, you don't. And if you feel compelled to do that, then go ahead and do it. But the most important thing is just get outside, have fun, and do it. Because the more people that we have actually physically doing it, the better the entire hobby will be for everybody. You're going to have more community support. You're going to have more government support. You're going to have more mod support. You're going to have more company support. Just do it and don't talk about it. That's my advice.
Yeah. I echo a lot of that. You know, I think at times you can overmod a vehicle to where it's okay to be hauling ass at 60 mile an hour down a gravel road. And I think that you get so wrapped up in the driving of it. You know, like it takes 60 mile an hour on the interstate, 60 mile an hour on a gravel road are 2 entirely different things.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get to see everything and enjoy everything that the forest has to offer when you're hauling ass through the woods, Billy Baja badass in your wannabe stadium truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take your Corolla and go run a gravel road in it. It will be fine. Do it at a comfortable pace. Learn what noises are bad. That's my advice. Learn what a bad noise is.
There you go.
All right?
I like that.
And if you're not hearing that, man, you're doing it right. Just go out and explore. And
let's hit the tech tip.
Women may not find us handsome, but damn it, do they find us handy. It's time for a Camo Convoy tech tip.
I ruffled a lot of feathers talking about bushings and bearings. Aaron, did you know that if you have bushings, your vehicle will break as soon as you hit a rock? It'll just, you can't do it. That's what they told me. Yeah, that's what they told me. Apparently, bushings fail all the time. You just can't. They won't hold up, and you can't use bushings. Apparently, all of the automotive manufacturers since the dawn of time have just been doing it wrong. That's why I see all of these bushing failures prematurely on all of the motor vehicles on the road. It's just, it's amazing what you learn when you talk about suspension and stuff on the internet. But I want to talk about bushings again. And something that I see and something I've actually personally messed up myself is that let's say you install something that has bushings, something like a control arm, even shackles, really, anything that rotates on an axis that has a bushing. Your final torque, and honestly, maybe even half torque and beyond, should be done when that vehicle is sitting at ride height. Now, obviously, don't do this to a part that's like, that would make it unsafe. But the reason that you want to do this is if you have the vehicle jacked up and your suspension fully drooped in a rubber bushing and you torque that thing to Mach Jesus, when you set that thing back down, you actually have the potential for the bushing to be indexed beyond its neutral axis. So when it goes to flex, now it's torquing beyond what it was designed to do. Is it going to give you an immediate issue? No, but you can do it better. And I like final torque being done when the vehicle's under load.
Yeah, it exceeds the torsional operating degrees or limitations, I guess, and will tear bushings that way.
Yeah,
I think the lubing a bushing too is important, especially with like the poly bushings.
Mm-hmm.
They like to squeak and they're a little harder, firmer. My edible anti-seize is actually really, really good on those rubber parts.
Yeah, rubber, truthfully, rubber probably doesn't need it. I mean, it likes to be clean. But I think if you want to prolong it, and this is kind of getting into the weeds, right, of, lubricating your rubber bushings, but a silicone-based lube for rubber is pretty safe. And that's going to keep it hydrated. Think of it as like lotion for your bushings. It's probably not going to be... Rubber bushings don't typically squeak that much, and if they do, they're probably due to be replaced, but if you haven't done it, or if you have something new and you want to keep it nice, it's not a bad idea to hit rubber bushings with something silicone-based. Poly, I've seen best practice with most people that sell poly to be PTFE or something synthetic for grease. Basically non-petroleum based, I think, is the key.
Yeah. You got to be really careful what you put on rubber.
You stuck with us this long for part 2, so you know who we are. We appreciate it. And we would really appreciate it if you stopped in and said, hey, you can find us on Facebook. You can holler at us on YouTube, any of the places that we pop up. The podcast has a Facebook page. You can stop in there. Message us if you want to link up.
We have a giveaway going.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have a giveaway going. There's been some snow. We want to see your snow nuts. Send us your donuts and snow drifting and playing out and about. There's been some snow coming through. We'll give something away here, I don't know, next couple weeks or so, but jump on the Facebook page. share some stuff.
Yeah, the one individual that posted, Brenton, it's going to be hard to beat, guys. It's going to be really hard to beat. Those are some damn good snow nuts. So unless you guys want to see a Nissan win, I suggest that you get out there and practice your driving skills at church. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you in real time in like 2 weeks. I'm going to Disney World. For real, though. So I'll catch you guys later. Until next time, shiny side up, rubber side down, air down. Thank you.
Thanks.